Okay, welcome back, all you action figure enthusiasts. It's me, your host, T-Bot, and I'm back with another exciting episode of Toys in My Closet. And as you can see, today I have for you the Super 7 Ultimate Conan the Barbarian from the Marvel Comics. And this is a brand new release that has been in waiting for a little over 8 months now, where it first went up for pre-order, and finally we're starting to get it in our hands. So today we're going to take a closer look at this figure and what it has to offer, and we'll start here with this beautiful, very beautiful packaging that it comes in with the artwork in the front that is actually, I believe, the front cover of the Conan the Barbarian Marvel Comics. The artwork is absolutely stunning in the old school style and aesthetic. And it's one of those things where I really wish I was a mint on card collector, because it's almost a shame and a crime, a true crime, to actually rip this apart and throw it out. But I'm not a mint on card collector, so I will take it out of packaging. So as you can see, we have the artwork there, Conan the Barbarian in the bottom. In the very top, Conan the Barbarian as well. On the side is the rest of the depiction of the artwork. And then on the other side is the rest of the artwork. It says, "To the death." And then Conan the Barbarian with the lightning. And you'll notice that I have right here next to it a little box that also says, "To the death." And this is actually some extra accessories and weapons that they gave you as a complimentary apology because of the delay of the figure, how long it took for us to get it in our hands, which is very cool and a very nice touch from Super 7. I believe that really, at the end of the day, they really didn't have to go there and do this, but they did. And you see, it says, "Thank you for your support, Super 7. So we'll look at this in a few. What we're going to do here is we're going to take the cover and slide it right off, because it is a slide off. And then, as you can see, you'll notice Conan the Barbarian in the window box opening, right? And display in the bubble blister, showing his accessories with the background. Really nice packaging, like I said. Almost a crime to have to get rid of the packaging. And he comes displayed with his open mouth yelling portrait. And if you see some other artwork there. And in the back he has like a bio. It says, "Come with us to the Hybrid Age. Come with us back to the dark centuries which sprawl between the sinking of Atlantis and the dawn of recorded time, to the days when the non-forgotten land of Aquilonia was the mightiest of nations, and a man's life was worth no more than the strength of his sword arm. Come with us to the raw, untamed world of Conan the Barbarian." And you might not see that in Super 7 because it is based on the red coloring. Nice use there of a woman screaming. Then in the bottom, of course, is the legalese stuff, and saying that this figure is intended for children from the age of, the age of 14 and up. So, as we know, it's more of a adult style collectible, instead of just, something that is for just a regular average kid. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take him out of packaging, and we're going to come right back and see what he looks like out of packaging. And here we have Conan out of packaging, and quite honestly, he is very simple in style, but with this He-Man Masters of the Universe Classic buck I think it works excellent for this figure. Because even though it's simple in aesthetics and look, it is so well executed, and it's such a wonderful representation of what Conan looked like and what he's supposed to be, especially coming from the art style and material of the comic book. So if we take a closer look, this figure is one of those figures that if you have it in front of you, it looks a whole lot better. Now, I don't know why they tainted this here around his eyes, where it looks almost like a wash, or like he hasn't slept for months and years. The mouth is really nicely painted with the nice pearly whites. His eyes are nice and blue, not too far apart, his eyes. His hair has that blue hues over there, or wash over in black, like the way it looks like when they're drawn in the comics. There's his bracelet or chain around his neck, which is a separate piece with the red and black symbols, and then the gold, and obviously the normal two buck. These are his bracelets, or his braces, and his wrist, which are not separate pieces. You see, they have the wash with the gold and the browns. These are actually, molded there. And he has this one brace around the forearm in gold, the gold belt that holds up his loincloth, trousers, or, underwear, if you will. Looking really nice. And the wash on the skin is really nice. There's a nice matte finish to him. Not that shiny finish that makes it look almost like a cheap plastic. Then his boots would look like slippers. Really nicely done. So he's very simple in style, as you can see. Very, very nice. And then you have the horns, his helmet, in that bronze color. So he's very simple in style, but he looks exactly what he's supposed to represent. And when you see it, you will immediately identify with him as, Conan. There's no denying he is Conan. You can tell just by looking at him. Anybody that's familiar with the character will know who he is. So now, let's take a look at the accessories that he brings. So here we are, and here are the accessories that he brings. First, let's start off with his second portrait, which is his second head. And this one I like personally better because he has the serious frown and look, and I feel like his eyes are more aligned correctly. And the wash on the face is not as strong, but he's got a really stern look, and his cheekbones are really aligned pretty well as well. Nice wash. This is definitely my favorite of the two, even though I know what they were going for with the yelling. Then he brings the spear, right? Which we gotta kind of focus on. There we go. And a nice wooden look with like barbed wire all around it in metal. And the tip is very, barbarian style. The spear. Then he brings, excuse me, his classic sword, right? As he's always known to have, Conan. With the gold hilt, painted very nicely in a nice gold metallic. And then the silver, gunmetal silver on the blade. Really, really nice. And then he brings this little dagger that's in gold with the bronze hilt, and it has the shape of like a pterodactyl face, And you see it has inscriptions on it. And this has a little peg. It goes right on the side of his loincloth, crotch, underwear. You have to be careful when you take it out because this, if you don't pay attention, you can lose it. It falls right out. Even though it pegs in, but it falls out if you're not paying attention. Now this is the second sword that he brought. Same style, but with blood on it, which looks really cool. And this was the bonus one they sent you as an apology. Same thing here with the spear. Same spear with the nice brown wooden look and the barbed wire around it. And then in the tip of the spear, it's all full of blood and looks very gruesome and chaotic. Those are the two they sent as the apology accessories, an extra bonus, so, for all the delays so far. So, now let's take a look at his articulation. So, let's take a look at his articulation. So, we'll bring him up close and personal once again. And actually, before we do that, let's do this. Let's bring in, let's see if I have it here. Let's bring in the ruler and let's take a quick measurement of him. As you can see here, as we measure him, he stands well, it starts with 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It stands almost at 7 inches, almost, if you see here from the top here, almost at 7 inches. So now that we got that out of the way, now let's take a look at his articulation. So first we start off with his head, which obviously goes left and right. He looks down that much, and obviously because of his hair, he can barely look back. Now, if he didn't have his hair, he'd be able to look back a little bit. There's not really much in the form of tilt, and this is why I said it's a little bit messed up and bad, that because these bucks are a little bit antiquated from the Motu Classics. There's some parts where the articulation can definitely use an update and would be really nice. If they did that. Now, I don't know why on camera it's coming off that way. I'm trying to figure it out myself. But if you notice, the color of the skin here with this almost looks like 2 shades of color, but it really isn't in person. So, to continue on, you see his shoulders in a hinge where it goes up that much. It goes full 180 degrees with no problem. He has the bicep. Anyone that collects Motu should know what to expect. He has this much bend on the elbow, then in the hinge in the arm and the wrists, hinges forward, hinges back, and he has rotation. And same thing on this arm, on this wrist. Sometimes they come with the one where you can, sort of loft, because it hinges up and down that way. Excuse me. Excuse me. Then he can swivel here on his waist, and then he has the crunch where he can crunch that much to the floor, to the front, and then the back. He hyperextends just that much, and it's nice because there's no gappage. It's pretty seamless the way it was sculpted. Then this here is nice and clean on the top, but he does have the swivel on the bicep or the thigh at the top. Then he has a single on his leg, which goes up that much. And then over here he has no boot cut because it's a leg, but he has the rotation there. And he goes forward that much, back that much, and there's no, unless you move the whole leg, no rotation. So And then if you want to kick his leg upwards, he kicks up that much, and he can kick back that much, and he can do the full, even though these are older, he can still do a full Van Dam split, because that joint they use here for the top swivel and the split is actually a pretty good one that, that's how incorporated into Motu, and it still works wonders today. He does better splits than some of the newer Marvel Legends Spider-Mans, so can't really complain. So put him back here. That's what he has as far as articulation. Now let's see what he looks like with his accessories on. And here's what he looks like with his sword and the spear. Now, to demonstrate to you guys in front of you in the camera, he has a little plug right there where you see that it, it's flushed in, like a little open area where you can put the tab here. And then he holds there the dagger, right? So when you're opening them up and you put, checking them out, you have to be careful because that falls out and you can't really tell right away. I almost lost mine. So please be careful when you're, first unpacking him. So I'm also going to take the time now real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change his head portrait real quick. I'm going to take this off. Hopefully it'll come off with no problem here on camera. And put the portrait that I like, because I like the way it looks a little bit better. It makes him look more meaner, more serious, and he kind of looks more like Arnold from the movie. I'm going to take off this blade. I'm going to give him the blade with the blood to make it look more like he was in battle. He just killed some warriors, obviously. This fell out again. Tap it there. And as you can see, I love that stern look he has. That look where he's just stern. And then let me put the other spear with the blood as well. As if he just finished wrecking stuff as well. And put this here. Back on the top. See, it keeps coming off pretty easy. You gotta be careful. But when it's on there, it stays. It's just like when you're moving him and trying to pose him, it seems like it keeps wanting to fall out. See? It's weird. But we'll handle it. We'll handle it. It's okay. It's okay. It's just, those are the nuances that you have to deal with as a figure collector when figures want to act up and not cooperate. I'm going to have to just do this instead so that it doesn't fall off. So you can't really stretch out this arm, or rather this leg on this side too much, because when you try to split it, it pops off. Yeah, but there you have it. There you have him with the other portrait, which I prefer right there. I think he looks a lot better. I think he looks more Conan-ing, with the hair billowing to the side like it was wind. And he's an awesome figure. He's pretty bad-assery. So I guess let me just bring a couple of figures side by side, just so you guys can get an idea of what he looks like, or what they look like next to him. So here I have him next to two Marvel Legends, the brand new version of Captain Marvel, aka Marvel, from Marvel Legends, and the brand new Age of Apocalypse Sunfire in his second form, with the flames. And you can see they kind of match up a little bit, but that's because I also have Conan with his legs spread. But they look nice next together to each other. Pretty cool. Here I have them next to the Legendary Series Mattel 6-inch Halo Master Chief, and next to the Articulated Icons Basic Purple Ninja. And again, same 6-inch scale next to a more 7-inch style scale. But, you know, you can work them together where they look okay next to each other, even though Conan looks a lot girthier and bigger next to them, but pretty cool nonetheless. I think they look nice next to each other. And here I have them next to the Jurassic Park Amber Collection Jeff Goldblum Malcolm character. Kind of cheating in height because he has a nice stand that I have him there with, and I don't take him off of it, so you know. So he looks taller, but he really is not supposed to. And then I have over here the Rebel Hoff anniversary carded Empire Strikes Back Black Series 6-inch Star Wars figure, which looks really cool. And you know, and next to him standing here, so you can see the disparities in sizes. And I think one more. And last but certainly not least, here I have him next to the Articulated Icon Strider custom figure that I have from the video game. Which, if anybody's interested, just get in touch with me through DM, because I will. My daughter does, you know, do funding, you know, to do customs. And I have him here next to the Masters of the Universe Classic Mechaneck. You can see I have him here with his extended neck piece. And he looks really awesome. Like I said, he looks really good. And because of the Motu Buck being so reformed, and so many, you know, figures having them, I think it works really well. He looks good in the shelves. In your shelves, or he will look good in your shelves, no matter what figure you put him next to a collection. You know, you do what you want with your toys. You know, that's what makes, you know, action figure collecting so unique and awesome. So there you have it, guys. That is my review and outlook on the brand new Super 7 Ultimate Conan 7-inch Conan the Barbarian comic book action figure. And all I can say is that he's a really, really phenomenal figure. Really nice, really well executed, especially if you're really into Conan lore and the movies and comics and things like that, and you grew up with Conan, you're going to absolutely love it and adore it. The fact that he has the reformed body that is not very familiar, and we have so many figures in that style and form in Motu Classics. He fits in very well, but the beauty of it is that he also fits very well, would fit in very well with your other collections, like Mythic Legions, for example, comes to mind. I think it'll work very well with that faction and toy collection as well, with no problem. I can only say is that if you didn't go out and get them, and you find them in the aftermarket or in one of the secondary stores like Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, and they have them in stock, yes, you might pay a little bit more than originally intended with the pre-orders, but I think he's worth it, especially as a figure collector. Speaking to figure collectors myself out here, you won't be disappointed, and you'll be very happy with him, and you'll be very happy with him in your collection. He looks a lot better also, obviously, in person, because he's not as shiny, and he also has the matte look. And at the same time, you got to remember that he's going to be harder to find and almost impossible, probably, because he was based off a pre-order format. So guys, I highly recommend you pick him up, and don't hesitate if you get the chance or opportunity. So there you have it, guys. That is my review. That is my outtake, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. I hope it helped you out in any way, shape, or form. If you were on the fence of picking him up, and now I maybe convinced you to wanting to pick him up, or if you feel he's complete garbage, you don't want to add him to your collection because you don't like what you saw here in the review. But as always, leave a thumbs up if you like it. Leave a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And, share it with someone you think might enjoy the video. Because it means a lot and it helps out the channel. And if you ever want to help me out in any way, shape, or form, you guys know how you can. After this trying times is over and you have the means, it's all down in the description below. And, I can say if you guys, if you guys are new to the channel, all I can tell you is welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you did. And if you enjoyed my content, please feel free and subscribe. And if you did, remember, I'm extremely grateful and humble because I know you don't have to. But now that you did, I consider you part of my family. You guys know, if you want to check me out on social media, you can find me on Instagram under C_respect. And you can find me on Twitter under Hebot Powerful Gamer. Guys, it's been a good one. This is your host Hebot signing off, and with the latest episode of Toys in My Closet. Keep collecting, guys. Do it safely. Do it being caring to others. And, remember, we can have fun doing what we love, but we have to consider other people's feelings and situation as well, respectfully, as human beings, and be kind. So, good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys, and bye-bye.